Hello everyone and welcome. Tonight I'm finishing up this last round of Kinder's Card Challenge with the pink Christmas. So I've tried to just make some things so that I can do it kind of quickly so that I won't have a real long video, because I'm going to just finish these up and I'm going to be working on 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, I believe. Is that right? 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 12, 13, 14, and 15 is what I'm going to be working on. In my last video, I finished up the other ones. And so what I've got here, and I'm trying to get the right sketch design, is... Actually, I'm doing 11. Okay, so I need to have a panel, a 4 1/4 by 5.5 panel to lay down onto my card base, and it's going to be mostly covered up. So this is not going to be embossed, but my next layer will be. So I've tried to pull some things together to make it go a little bit faster, because I do value your time and don't want to make an extremely long video. So anyway, this one, the 6x6 paper pieces that you had were these, and I went ahead and layered this just to kind of save time. And then you're going to bring in your other pieces of paper. This one, when I cut it, I messed it up, but it's okay because we're supposed to use a ribbon on there, so I'm going to do that. And then the next piece is supposed to be 3 3/4 by 5, and I took the Beveled Diamonds embossing folder from Spellbinders and embossed this panel just to add some interest. And I went ahead and used some tear tape on the back. I'm not going to use my foam tape to pop it up like a lot of times I'll do. I just went ahead and put the tear tape on the back, and we'll just get this laid down. And I did go ahead and die cut out a bunch of extra sentiments so that I'll have those available to add if I need them. Oops, I got to get that good and stuck down. Sometimes on that embossed panel, you gotta get it real sticky. Okay, so I've got that, just need to lay it down so that we'll have a nice edge on that. Trying to eyeball it. Got that laid down. I think that looks interesting. Now I'm going to check my panel. Okay, I'm laying this way. Okay, so then the next piece that I'm supposed to lay down is this one here. And it should be the length of this. And we're just going to do it on the edge. I'm going to use some glue on this because we've got panels that are, the panel has got, you know, raised and lowered, I guess embossed and debossed edges is what I should say. And so it's not all the glue is going to hit it. So I've just laid my trees down and I've got them going in the right direction. And the next piece of paper it calls for is my candy cane. And this is where I have the tear. And so I'm going to get it laid down, and we will cover up the tear with a ribbon. And my husband is on the loose, so there's liable to be some interruption here in a minute. Let's see, what do we do today? Oh, today it rained and rained and rained like cats and dogs. So we did not get out today. The boys were kind of tired anyway from the weekend. And so they didn't have a bit of problem staying inside and just hanging out. They were really pretty mellow. Now the card design calls for this to be laid over the top of this, but I don't particularly care for that. So I am going to, and I should have done it when I'm going to try and get it underneath this panel. Just see if I can slide it underneath there. I believe I can. Actually, I want to get it lined up right. Yeah, I'm going to be able to lay that on there and cover up that little strip there where I kind of made a mistake. And then I'll just cut it off and tuck it in the other side. I've got my scissors cut up. I should not have put that glue where it could be seen, but we'll get it covered up here. And then I'm just going to tuck it in under this edge, put some glue in there and tuck it in under that edge too. And that's how I'm going to do it, because I didn't want to lay it over this. So this panel here, it calls for it to lay like this. So I'm just going to get it laid down, and I've got my letters, my words facing in the right direction. And we'll just kind of cover that up. And then we're bringing in the next panel, which is going to go like this. And I think that ties all of our colors in together. So I'm going to get that. I'm just looking to see if I've got any scrap that I could pop that up with, maybe. What have I got? Yes, I do. I'm going to cut. Let's see. I'm going to cut some of this and put it down on there just so we'll have an even layer. Hopefully that'll work. Yeah, that should work just perfect. Because it's going to hang off that layered panel, and I don't want it to look uneven. So I'm just putting a piece of paper down there. And then we'll just try and get it lined up there. And we've got that. And then I've got my little Santa postage stamp that I'm going to use. And I chose that because I needed something to tie the red and the pink end together. And I thought this did. And this is from the Oh What Fun Christmas from last year. And I'm just going to get it laid down there. And then I have this little sentiment that just says, "Warm wishes from all of us." And I'm going to lay it down. And that finishes up this card. I hope you like it. I think it's cute. I like the color scheme. It's fun. Okay, let's move right on to card sketch 12. And for this one, we're going to be using three pieces of the pattern paper that we cut from the cutting guidelines. And we are going to use another embossed panel for this. And this particular panel is the Spellbinders July 23. It is called Christmas Wrap Pattern is what it's called. And we're going to use it. So we'll just lay some glue down. I'm just going to glue this panel down. And I think, yeah, for a minute there I thought I had the debossed, that I was doing the embossed side, and that I was going to have the debossed facing up, but I do have it correct, I believe. So this is just an A2 panel size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm just going to get it laid down on my card base. Try and get it down there nicely. Okay, there we go. And then this sketch calls for this 1 1/2 by 5 1/4 piece of paper to be laid down on here. So I'm just going to get it laid down. And it's supposed to go from end to end if I cut it right. It looks like it is. And I wanted my trees to be facing that way because I'm going to have some panels here, and I wanted a little bit of my trees to be able to show, I think. So the next panel is paper F from our cutting that we did some cutting. So it's going to go on here just like that, and we'll get it laid down. And this really doesn't have a directional, it's just got this little pink, looks like maybe holly pattern in it. And this is from the Oh What Fun paper pad. And it just has a little bit of holly in there. And then the next piece that I've chosen to layer is this pink piece. And I'm just going to get it laid down. And I'm just before I do that, I'm glad I looked up. I actually am supposed to lay my candy cane down on here. So I'm glad I looked up. So I'm going to get my candy cane, which is pattern C. And I'm just going to get it laid down on here. And it's kind of supposed to go with a little bit of edge hanging on the bottom there. And it should go end to end. Try and get it straight. And then my little pink panel comes in. And we'll get it laid down. And this piece is 2.5 by 2.5. So it is a square piece, and it is supposed to be laid on here kind of like this, I think, with a little bit of an edge showing. So we'll just lay that on there like that. And then the design calls for some type of, it says any type of shape. They've actually got like a fern hanging here, but I'm going to go with these two. And I've already got the paper on there to pop them up. So I'm just going to bring those in and pop them up and put them over here. And then I've chosen to take one of my recent Spellbinder stamp and die kit and stamp out Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in this blue, just to bring that back in. And so I'm just going to lay it down. So I'll just do that real quickly. Oops, and it's moving on me. I gotta get my glue to stick. Let's see, how does that look? Oh, that looks good. Okay. And then we'll get our New Year down. Now, I did cut out, and I don't know if it'll look right or not, so we'll just see what it looks like. I did take a minute when I was stamping and die cutting. I also pulled in some of the little floral things that, but I think that kind of competes with that, so I think I'm going to leave that off of there. And I think I'll just leave that alone. And this will be card sketch 12. And then we'll just move right along to card sketch 13, in which I need to, and I don't know what happened to my card bases. They got a little bent, so I don't know. But I'm going to proceed with them. And we'll hopefully just cover them up with, what happened? Ooh, I scored that one wrong. I'll bring in another one. I'll have to use that one for some scrap. This one doesn't have a bend in it anyway, so we'll go 4 1/4 and fold it over. Okay, and we're just going to bring in our pieces. And this one has a full-size panel on it, but I'm not embossing it because it's got a lot of stuff that's going to cover it up. So we'll just get it laid down on there. And we'll just move right along. So let's see, this is the side I want to lay down. You can always see from where your paper trimmer kind of bent the edge, so I always try to put that side down. Oops, I got some glue on the back there. I'll have to get that wiped off. Get that set down. That looks pretty good. Oops, I got glue on my fingers. I need to take a minute and get them cleaned off. Grab my rag real quick and do that. It won't matter because I have so much layering in there that's going to happen. So the next panel is going to be a 4 by 4 1/8 is what that layer is going to be. And I'm using this pink layer. Obviously I'm keeping in the same color scheme because I have that same pattern paper for all of the sketches, because we just use 6 pieces of 6 by 6 pattern paper, and so pretty much our color scheme is going to be the same throughout the whole challenge to some extent. So I've got that 4 by 4 1/8 laid down, and now I'm bringing in a 3 3/4 by 3 7/8, and I'm going to get it laid down. This seems to be wanting to clog up on me a little bit. Where's my pen? I'm not sure what's going on because I'm sitting here using it, but for some reason it's wanting to clog up. There we go. Strange. Not sure what's going on with it. Okay. All right, let's get this laid down. And we'll just keep moving right along. So we'll get us a nice little edge around that. Need to pull that down a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. Hands are getting all sticky. And then the pattern paper that I have to go with this, now this isn't going to lay right because it's got words on it, but I'm not bothered by that at all. So that's paper pattern D, and then it calls for paper pattern C to go up here, I believe, and I think it goes this way. And we're going to have a little edge in there, and then it calls for paper pattern E, which is the Christmas tree, and then it calls for paper pattern B, and then paper pattern C. And this looks differently, but it is the same. It had some like snowflakes on it. And then this is the area where you would put your sentiment. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to use my tape runner because I'm having trouble with that clogging up. And I want to check this. I think, no, it does go this way. Okay. So I'm going to get myself a little edge here on both sides that I like. And then I'll just start lining everything up for that. And then I'm going to have a little edge there. We'll get this laid down. I don't know what's on my card there. And now I'm out of tape runner. Boy, I'm having a adhesive challenge tonight. Just use this tear tape now. We'll move to that. Maybe. Well, I thought I had made some preparations to speed this up, but it doesn't seem to be working very well. Okay. And then this I'm going to lay like this because I feel like you can just read it better. Just trying to eyeball it. And then, let's see if I can get this glue working. Speed things up a little bit. There we go. And we'll get this laid down here. Try to get a nice little edge on that. And then we'll lay down our next piece. I think I'm going to do it like that. Okay. Now, it also calls for a strip to go down here, actually 2 strips. So I've got these 2 pieces here, and I'll just get them laid down. Now it wants to come out. Must have been something in there blocking it. So now it's going to really come out. Okay, I'm going to run this along there because I've got a lot of glue, and just lay it aside. And I'm just going to flip this up. Now this one calls for ribbon as well, but I'm not big into ribbon on the card. I did it on the last one, but because I needed it, but I'm not going to do it on this one because I'm not big into that. And then let's see. I've got these cupcakes, and I thought it would be fun. I'm trying to use up this Oh What Fun ephemera that I have left, and I thought it'd be fun to put that one on there. And then this is a chipboard piece, and I thought it would be fun to put that one on there as well. Oops. And I'm going to have to add some glue because the sticker came off the back of it. So we'll just get that on there and pop that up. And then I have got Merry Christmas stamped and die cut out, ready to go on there. I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to put, that was not the one I wanted. I want to do a Happy New Year on there. So I'm going to grab another one. I've got extras. that one said warm wishes, but I wanted to put and a Happy New Year on there like that. So that is card sketch 13. Oh my goodness, my camera was crooked. Apologize for that. Okay, so sketch 14 calls for these 3 pieces of pattern paper that we had to cut out in advance. So I just wanted to show you that. And then we have our card base. And I am bringing in another blue panel to start off with. Very similar. I'm just going to get it laid down. I think I might have to cut that one down. Okay. I'm going to have to cut that one down because it was, evidently I didn't measure appropriately when I was making the base. But it's just 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it fits our base. And then the next thing we're going to do is bring in a layer for this red piece. And we're going to layer it on here. And this was pattern paper F. I labeled mine so that I could keep track of and get them in the right order on the card sketches, because it tells you to put A here, B there, C there, whatever. And so I try to keep them labeled because some pieces are the same size and you don't know which one's A, B, or C if you don't label them. So that's what I did. So the card sketch calls for this to be laid down on here about like that. So we'll just get it laid down. I have a fly in here driving me nuts. My husband has been canning, and he's been running in and out from the garden and from the garage. We have a shelf in the garage that we keep our canning stuff on, everything that's canned. And he's been running back and forth doing the canning. He's been very busy. Our garden has just been phenomenal this year. And it's just coming on quickly. And he has been canning every night for the last 5 nights. And it's still going. So anyway, but he's been really very pleased with the results of our garden. So this piece is supposed to lay, and I've got some bubbles in there. I don't know what that is. This piece is supposed to lay on here like this. So we'll just get it laid down. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it to make sure I'm getting it right. Looks like it goes like that. Probably could go up a little bit higher like that. And then this next piece actually goes on here kind of catty corner like that. And then I've decided to bring in this little blue house. I thought that was cute, and I'm going to pop it up. So we'll just run down the middle here and pop it up. Whoops. Flying debris. Just pull the tear tape off. Get this laid down in the center of, actually it's not going to be in the center. I don't want to mess, oh, it looks like did I snip off the top of my house? I don't know. So I'm going to get this, and this banner is supposed to go on here. So I need to get it laid on there. Something had gone wrong with the top of that house that I wasn't aware of, but that lays down like that. Did that tuck under? No, it didn't. Okay. And that goes there. And then I have this card sketch is also to have like a ribbon on it. And so I was just going to bring in another piece of this blue. And I thought I would put the Merry Christmas. I think I want to pop the Merry Christmas up and cover up that piece of my roof that doesn't look right. So You can always fix little problems when you're card making. That's what is very nice about handmade cards. You make your own design and you just fix it however you need to. Because we're not perfect, so we just have to work with. And I wanted to, let's see, can I get that on there like that? I think I can. Do it like that. And then I think I'm going to need to cut this in half. I cut that strip in half, and this is the other half of it. And I think I need to lay it on the sides of this because I've got so much layering in there. And I hope this will be the right height. And let's see. I also had, with this Merry Christmas sentiment, I had From Our House to Yours, and I really wanted to use that because I've got this house on there. So let's see if I can make that work. Let's get this laid down. Like that. And then let's see if we can go. Can we do that? It's very crooked. I'm trying to decide. It's really wonky because of the way we laid that on there. And I feel like I want to follow that. And I think I will. It's going to be a wonky card. And this one also calls for some dots to go up here. So I'm going to lay that down. I think that's kind of cute. What have I got in here? I think I've got, yes, this actually has gold on it. So I'm going to grab 3 of these little gold. They're like, it's supposed to be like ornaments for for my tree that I did in an earlier video. I've been just working out of this little container here of stuff that I've die cut out, and I have these little gold ornamental things that I'm just going to lay down on here and add some gold to it. Let's see if I can straighten that up a little bit. Should dry clear. And I feel like I'm going to, just to add something, I'm going to put one here and one here as well, because I have plenty of them. I die cut out a whole bunch of stuff one day that was all Christmassy stuff that I could use for this. And I've just been keeping this little bowl handy for that purpose. Okay, so there's our card. Merry Christmas from Our House to Yours. I think that looks cute. Now we'll just move on to 15 and we're going to call this done. Hopefully this video is not getting too long. And maybe I can speed up some. I guess I don't need that because I've got a card base ready. And this one here, okay. It's pretty straightforward. There are 3 pieces of our pattern paper that we're to use on this. So not much of the pattern paper. This is E, so it goes in the middle. That's D, and this is F. So it's going to go like this. But we've got some panels that we need to get laid down first. And the first one, we're going to do the opposite. We're bringing in our pink panel. And it's 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm going to have a little white edge around it, which is fine. So the back to the canning, he cans, well, he put up a bunch of corn. I mean, a bunch. One day while I was gone, he just went nuts and put up a bunch of corn. But he's been making, right now, tomato juice with our tomatoes, and the tomatoes have just been explosive. They're just, the plants are over, I think they're probably 6 foot tall. I'm 5'9", and they're over my head, well over my head, and they're so full that we just have to just just really dig in and try to get inside there and get all the red ones out, and look hard to find ones that are ripe and ready to be picked, because it's just so abundant. So we've been very thankful for that, because we do like to have our garden. Now this paper, I think this paper is bigger than what it calls for. And this actually called for it to be embossed, but I'm putting a bigger element on here than what it's calling for. So I'm just going to get these laid down on this card. So D goes on top, and I'm going to get my words to where they're upright. And I've got a little bit of bells and missile and chimney on here. And chimney's kind of suiting because I'm getting ready to put a fireplace on my card. So that kind of worked out well with no plan on my behalf for that. And I think I'm supposed to put them together. I am. Let me pop them up here, because I gotta have room to get all three of them on there. That up there where it belongs. I've got some paper on my finger that I tore off. Okay, get it laid down, and then hopefully this one will lay down on there. All right. Yeah, I should have went clear up to the top. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just trim it down and make it fit. That's what I'm going to do. Now we got that laid down. Now this one is supposed to go on here like this. So we'll just get it laid down. And then this is some more of that ephemera from the Oh What Fun kit. And it shows a circular, it says any 2.5 to 3 inch shape is what it says. And so then I chose to put this shape on there. And I'm going to pop it up. Use a couple pieces of foam. And this foam is from the Dollar Tree. So it's very inexpensive. I like getting stuff inexpensive when I can, that's for sure. Especially since I no longer work. Huh? So it's nice to get stuff inexpensively. So I'm going to have a busy week. I'm going to have my grandkids all week and overnight on Friday night. So it's going to be busy. And I'm probably going to be worn out. Now, it did call for you to emboss this panel here, but I did not, so we'll have to adorn it a little bit. And my plan was to put this warm wishes from all of us on this. And I think I'm going to use a different color. I think I'm going to use this. No, I don't want that one. Trying to get the one that's the right color. I'm going to use this one and tie all of our colors in. And then I've got, because it has a little bit of gold on there, I have some gold snowflakes that I was going to put on there. So we'll get them laid down on there. And I had 2, but I'm thinking maybe 1 will be sufficient. Let's see. I think 1 is going to be sufficient for that. And I think I'm going to pop it up. So I'll just get a little, snip a little bit of this foam square. It'd be nice if I had a round one handy, but I don't. Just set that in the center of that, and we'll just pop that up on there. And that will be our card. Okay, we'll just recap our cards. Okay, and so just to recap our cards, this was card sketch 11, and I think it turned out really cute. And card sketch 12, and I did go back in and add an additional flower because I just felt like that was too much open space there. So I think that turned out all right. And then 13, I did go back and add in that bow, even though I said I'm not a bow person. I felt like it needed that bow there. So I did add that. And then 14 was my house, and I thought that turned out really cute. And then 15, I did go in and add a second snowflake just to fill in that red kind of blank spot there. So those are my cards. I hope you like them. If you do, consider giving me a thumbs up. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.